love how you talk about well, first, that monster story was fantastic. So thank you for that. And I've got something that I was going to ask, but I'll come back to that after this because you talked about linguistics. So for me, and then when we talked on your show, there were multiple times where I was like, wait a minute, you see and look for and do the same things that I do, but for different reasons coming from different angles. So like when I would do investigations back in the day, like if somebody, like we've got fraud and we don't know who did it, and we're just kind of doing the initial interviews to narrow the scope of the investigation and clear the people who obviously didn't, and kind of that pre-work stuff. If we're just talking to somebody who maybe has a new role or their responsibilities changed, and they say, well, I was excited, or I was looking for it, or I asked for it, or, I was promoted, or I was chosen, cool. But if they say, well, it was given to me, or it was taken from me, or I was told to, or it wasn't my choice, or, somebody listening from the outside might say, well, that's all the same thing. No, like psychologically, that is super different. And for the record, that doesn't mean that somebody who was told to stole, but it means that they could be much less happier in their situation, therefore feeling entitled to make something right. So amongst another giant pile of alert signals could make that person a little bit more likely to be the one who committed the fraud than somebody else, not that factor in and of itself. So when you are having, it could go either way, therapy conversations or business coaching conversations, which we could argue they're the same thing anyway. But in those conversations, linguistically, and I know person to person, case to case is different, but are there groups of words or statements that you listen for as alert signals to the problem behind the problem?
That's a great question. I don't know if I've compiled, common denominators to that level. I mean, I guess I could say it's, what was that line back in the day about politics and pornography? You know it when you see it, type of thing, right? So I kind of feel that same way at this point in my career. I was on an intake call with a referral this morning, and they just kept getting into the story and getting into the story. And I had to say to them, listen, when we're going to get together, I'm going to interrupt you a lot. Because for me, the story doesn't matter. Because once I get into this, the integrative medicine side of things with my neuroemotional technique, what really matters is how is your nervous system responding to your story that isn't serving you. I'm not here to tell you it's true or false, lie, not lie, right? Any of those. That's not the world I play in. I just want to know, are you in alignment and able to be as proactive with as many proactive choices and options in front of you? Or is your nervous system and your rational brain not firing together and therefore creating contradictory experiences where you can't be strategic, which is also keeping you in fight or flight?